I promise I'm not joking, I genuinely do think that Foldy is a good enough character to deserve the rejoin. I know she won't, but maybe if I convince enough people I'll be wrong and she will. Anyway, moving on to why you should vote for Foldy. Foldy hasn't done much of anything. She was placed on Free Food, the team I find the most forgettable, and I'm sure many others agree with me there, where she had two friends, Stapy and Marker. Stapy was eliminated in episode 9. Coincidentally, Foldy was also dead at this time, which means that they never got to say goodbye to each other. How sad. This caused Foldy to be angry at Irons for causing Stapy's elimination, and Foldy just kind of drew away from Marker as the episode progressed. I would too, he's kind of annoying. Don't hate me, Marker fans, I'm sure he'll be safe next episode. Throughout her episodes, we can see that Foldy is fairly passionate about her emotions, as she sticks close and loyal to Stapy, her closest friend, but is also very vocal about her hate towards Irons and Liy. Speaking of Liy joined the season in episode 13, right after the team swapped. As a tpot 21, however, her popularity seems to have declined, and she's always in the bottom 2, which I think is really uncool. I love Liy, she's one of my favourites, and if she continued her rivalry with Foldy, I think it would be enough to make her prominent enough to stay. The only risk would be both of them being put up for elimination, but that would probably only happen in the BFDIA 20 situation, where it's like just those two and another pair up for elimination. And even still, it would be really good for Foldy popularity, seeing as barely anyone likes her. Tpot 2 is one of my favourite Tpot episodes, but the one thing I would change if given the opportunity is the fact that she did absolutely nothing. If she did something, she would have stayed over Eggy, seeing as Eggy just barely survived with a margin of 381 votes that time, but she'd probably still be out in Tpot 6, bringing the life of that unimportant Foldy to an end. I still think she'd be able to be more interesting. After all, she's on the team with a former Irons member, and that could go somewhere. But the strongest team isn't very good at making its members equally prominent. But if somehow she managed to stay past Eggy, past someone else, which would only require 128 more votes, and even a third more sinister member, which would only require 113 more votes, and landed in the merge, she'd be able to see Liy and actually interact with her. Considering how Liy and Stapy are just suddenly friends, I'd like to imagine that Liy has forgiven Foldy and Stapy for whatever past they'd have, but Foldy still just absolutely hates her. This could either result in Liy trying to prove herself to Foldy, or the better option, Liy just annoying Foldy by simply existing. Tpot hasn't had many one-on-one rivalries like Fiery and Coiny, which I think has missed potential, honestly. They're funny and it's nice to see them reunite and become friends again, like Fiery and Coiny. There were 32 eliminated contestants as of Tpot 21, and I'm not listing them all up. Half of them have made it relatively far in the season, however, and would therefore be less deserving of a second shot. However, I'll still go through the other options on board. Pie. Although I believe she shouldn't have got announced so early, do we need another packed member this season? Foldy, see the rest of the video. Cloudy, he doesn't have any important character interactions with anyone still in, which would immediately make him an outlier. Sure, we could have him use the collection, but how many episodes could he do that without needing something new? I personally think they should focus on pre-existing things before working on new things. Saw. Same reason as Cloudy, but I also think the 8 thing should be cured eventually, since it's become Saw's most memorable trait for many, which I find sad. Naily. I think that Naily is a great character, but she would feel a bit out of place with everyone except for Price Tag and maybe Book or Donut. Remote, same as Pie. I think she'd be great if she stayed in, but I'm happy with who we got out of it. Eggy, again, I don't know what she could do. After Tpot 2, she stopped talking to Teardrop, and all the losers are already out anyway, so she'd really have no one to talk to. Fries. Fries is a good contender for rejoin, but I don't think he needs it. He's funny, but he's also going to have IDFB and can be funny in there and the last 2 episodes of BFTIA. Clock, he did not have much to do. Lightning, same as Pie and Remote. Cake, same as Eggy. Rocky, same as Clock, and to an extent Fries. Unless Rocky really locks in, he would feel out of place in the 7 last episodes of a season like Tpot. Coiny, same as Fries. Puffball, she'd be out of place with the Tpots except the balls, but I'd be happy if she joined. Teardrop, I'd be fine if she had stayed, but she'd be out of place if she rejoined. Plus, getting 3rd in BFB will make you a hated rejoiner. Nickel, same as Fries. But maybe if he joins we'll get 5 Nickel plushies, so I'll consider it. Bommy, I can't give anything here for Bommy because I honestly don't know what he does. This is different to anyone else. I genuinely don't know enough about Bommy to be able to decide if he'd be good. If you're a Bommy fan, please educate me. Belle, I'd also be pleased if she joined. It feels like we missed out when it comes to Belle. She's a strong character, but that wasn't shown much from the team named after its strength.
Woody is scared of everything. Sharp fish, fire, ouch, even bubble.
This is the latest I'd go with rejoin candidates. I would make an argument for Needle as well, but she's out of the question right now and also has BSTIA and IDFB, and everyone after tpot 13 feels like they've done enough. Besides Eraser, but he would kind of reverse what Pen has going for him, and Pen hasn't done much historically, so he needs all he can get. To clarify, this doesn't mean that I don't think these characters should never exist ever again. I think a lot of them would be great in Season 7, and I made a tier list which I'll display on screen showing what I think of all the eliminated contestants. I think it's only right that Foldy rejoins the game if a rejoin is to happen. She was screwed over by the start of tpot, but if she just got a few more votes each time, she'd be able to stay and grow to be so much more popular. And even though there were about 7 episodes left for her to be in, her rejoining would be great because she already has a clear storyline. Plus, her and Liy having a rivalry would also give Stapy something to do. Considering how he's now the only Exodus to not do anything new since tpot 13, it's pretty clear that the writers needed something for him to do. But anyway, have a Foldy for a day and good night. Or good morning, I don't know when you're watching this.